Welcome to the State of Wyoming Subject Matter Minute, where we cover a wide variety of subjects related to State of Wyoming employment. This information is for you and me, the state employee. From hidden benefits to systems and processes, we'll make your job easier by giving you the lowdown, the how-to, and hopefully entertain you a bit along the way. And now, today's Subject Matter Minute.
Welcome to another episode of the Subject Matter Minute. Before I get started, I want to say something from the heart. State of Wyoming employees are the best. I swear I was not fishing for compliments when I told you to email me and tell me how much you love the show. I was honestly kind of joking. Well, I am overwhelmed by your kindness and often your humor. All right, you guys, you said so many kind things. You put so many wonderful comments in the show notes, and it made me feel really good. Now, specifically, I want to thank an officer, a highway patrolman. He caught me coming out of a Subway restaurant in Laramie, and he pulled up to the curb, rolled down his window, which of course made me immediately nervous, right? But all he wanted to do was tell me how much he appreciates what I do. First of all, I'm sorry, sir, but I immediately forgot your name because, like I say, I got nervous, right? But also I want to say that that was extremely nice and that honestly, I should be thanking you because let's be real, what you do is way more serious and dangerous than what I do. But again, another example of the fine folks that work for the state of Wyoming. So, completely unrelated, but I did the swag drawings. I'm afraid that if you did not hear from me, it means you did not win. Now I got my wife Tanna involved, and if you're curious, there's a short video down below showing us going through the process. Okay, as I was saying, you guys work hard, and as you're going to see illustrated quite well today, you do it for less money than most everybody else in the region. That brings us to today's topic. Today we're going to talk about the Wyoming Workforce Report. Before I dive into all the numbers, I want to thank this episode's subject matter expert, who is Megan Connor of Human Resources Division. This report is huge, right? And Megan broke it down to the most important and interesting points for me to talk about. Thanks, Megan. So first of all, what is this workforce report? Well, at the end of each fiscal year, Human Resources Division puts it together and it contains 4 parts. Okay? A compensation update, a section on employee counts, a service and retirement eligibility section, and a turnover and recruitment section. The report is created and given to our governor and other branches of the government, and they use it, to deal with issues that relate to pay and other workforce issues, which of course we have quite a few of right now, as does everybody. All right? So this data is also provided by Human Resources Division when they are recommending salary increases for us. Okay, so let's dive in and take a look at the report.
The first section is the compensation update. Each year, HRD conducts an analysis of our current pay tables compared to the relevant labor market. To do this, they find jobs that are common throughout all industries and use these jobs as a reference point to make pay comparisons throughout our geographic region. The states compared to are Arizona, Colorado, Idaho, Montana, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, North Dakota, South Dakota, Oregon, Utah, and Washington. Salary information of these states is purchased through professional compensation survey providers. You can see that here. The info is reported by the states and not individuals. This part of the report shows how much our pay tables lag behind the market. As you can see, we are consistently behind the market. These are the numbers that HRD takes to the governor and the legislature when recommending salary increases. You can see that we are consistently behind in nearly every chart. The second main section of the report is employee counts and interesting statistics about who we are. It's broken down by agency, occupational family, pay rate, gender, county, and more. Some interesting highlights in this section include the average span of control page, which details, on average, how many employees report to one supervisor by agency. Also, the average pay rate by agency, which details, on average, what classified employees are paid per hour, and the average employee by county, which shows where everybody is throughout the state. Dig through this section, it's pretty interesting. The next section shows our ages, our length of service, how our pay relates to market, and our retirement eligibility. Here's our average age and length of service. And here it is again, but broken down by ethnicity. And then it also goes into pay as a percent of market by gender. There's lots of stuff in here. The main emphasis in this section is retirement eligibility, and this is broken down by agency and class code. It looks at current retirement eligibility, as well as eligibility in 3 years, and again in 5 years. Of course, this can help management in training and planning for the future gaps in their workforce. The last section, turnover and recruitment, looks at where the state is losing employees and how long it takes to replace them. Last fiscal year's turnover was 18.1% for the classified workforce. That's including in-state transfers. Individual agency turnover rates are detailed, as well as turnover by age, length of service, and classification code. One thing I notice is that the longer you are here, the less likely you are to leave. The recruitment section looks at the average time it takes to fill a position, as well as how many applications were received, how many candidates were eligible for an interview, and how many candidates were actually hired. An interesting stat in this section is the number of candidates eligible for an interview, which was down significantly from past years. This section also details how long each agency takes to fill a position, as well as how long, on average, individual class codes take to fill.
All right, I know that was incredibly quick and probably hard to follow, but I just wanted to give you an overview of what's in the report. I know it's probably more useful for managers and directors, but I still find it pretty interesting. Okay, I put a link to it, directly to it, in the show notes, and I also put a link to the page on HRD's website that gives you past reports in case you want to do some comparisons or something. Okay? I think it's cool to look through and see who we are and what we do. Unfortunately, that also means we get to see that we're paid less than most. But what do you do? All right, that's it for today. See you next time.
You have been watching the Subject Matter Minute with Matt Nagy. Please help us out by subscribing. And join us next month when we'll cover another topic of interest for all State of Wyoming employees. Again, thank you for joining us on the Subject Matter Minute.